Hello, Twitch! My name is Pixley, and for the next hour, I will be commentating you. That's right, you are listening to Pixley Commentates Twitch, a live commentary stream where I give live commentary for Twitch Plays Pokemon. I know I'm a little late on starting. Mixlr crashed on me as I tried to start. Anyway, so, picks for the blue team are Alakazam, Golbat, and Muk. Very strong-looking team there, I would think. And then, picking begins for the red team. Certainly have something to work against here. First pick for the red team is Beedrill. I don't know how much Twin Needle would do to Alakazam. Some? We'll have to see. Not a frequent matchup. A lot of poison on the blue team, other than Alakazam, though. Oh, here we go. Second pick for the red team is Pikachu. Pikachu obviously having the type advantage over Golbat, but other than that, not a whole lot. And finally, third pick for the red team is Poliwrath, who is definitely weak to Alakazam. That's not going to be great. But Hydro Pump's a good move, and at least this gives Poliwrath an excuse to not use Dynamic Punch, because, you know, that almost never hits. Although when it does, it hits like 4 times in a row and then the other team gets butt hurt. With good reason, I mean, that's not supposed to happen. Anyway. So yeah, it is a nice morning here in Texas. Having a pretty good week, I think. Is everyone having a good week? Oh, by the way, if you would like to communicate with me, please feel free to do so in the Twitch chat. Just, say @Pixley, and I'll probably see it. If I don't, I'm not ignoring you. I just didn't see it. So, oh, totally forgot about stadium stats. So, as I like to brag every time I broadcast, I developed a program in like an evening that allows me to look up the exact stats for each Pokemon in Stadium 2. And there we go. Not the race stats, the actual stats. I spent a very long time copying those down by hand and messed up. 2 weeks ago, I misspelled Omanyte in my data file, and that made things very annoying for me. Alrighty. And we begin. First up is Muk versus Beedrill. That really should be this will probably be pretty slow. Muk could potentially get a lot of setup going on here with Acid Armor. And Alakazam's in the 3rd spot, which is most unfortunate for the red team. Order definitely screwing over the red team here, because they certainly don't want Poliwrath to go up against Alakazam. I mean, yes, Poliwrath does have decent special defense, but decent special defense isn't going to do anything about crazy special attack. Oh wow, that Twin Needle right there, definitely doing some work. Totally not awful. Yeah. And there's Muk. Well, there's blue team picking Acid Armor, so this is definitely be some setup here. Oh, but instead, Muk goes for the 1% disable, and it misses! Wow. The RNG may be trying to even things out here. So there's more Twin Needle. Again, not doing a whole lot. Another Acid Armor. Unfortunately for Muk, after it somehow manages to take down Beedrill, it'll be up against Pikachu. Granted, Muk's special defense is already pretty high, but Pikachu's not going to want to go for physical moves anyway. Here's Sludge. Oh, and it crits! Doing actually a decent amount of damage. Oh, and here comes the Pursuit, which does nothing. Although it's not because of Acid Armor, because Pursuit is special in Gen 2. The good old days before the physical special split. Back when things really made sense. There's more Acid Armor. Oh! Muk has reached maximum defense. Or no, maximum armor, as it is in Crisis. Yeah! More no damage. Here's another Sludge. Beedrill brought down 45 health, which means one more Sludge will take it out. This is definitely a slow battle. If Alakazam had gone first, it'd be over by now, probably. And here's the Sludge. And Beedrill goes down with a crit that completely mattered. Yay! Crit mattered. Alrighty! Next up for the red team is Pikachu. Pikachu, of course, not being all that great stat-wise, being a Prevo. But it'll certainly be able to work around Muk's Acid Armor with this Thunderbolt. Let's see how it goes. Oh, with Paralysis and 8 HP remaining. But Muk does get damage and poison on Pikachu, and wow, that's a lot of damage on Pikachu. Ooh, this is not looking good for the red team. Despite the fact that Pikachu's probably going to do massive damage to Golbat, that's really going to have a problem. Although Pikachu is faster than Golbat, which means Thunderbolt should get some considerable damage upon Golbat before Alakazam comes out and wrecks everything. Now, that's really the name of the game here. Don't let Alakazam wreck. Because Alakazam's speed is much higher than Pikachu's. Actually, I didn't even realize how... Damn. Alakazam has 294 speed. That's crazy. Oh, there's that considerable damage. And Golbat responds with Wing Attack. And Pikachu hangs on with 11 health. Which means it will be able to take down Golbat. But then it will go down to poison. Or not. Stadium 2 is weird about that. We'll see. Golbat does go down. So now, is Pikachu going to go down to poison? No. See, that's Stadium's fault. I really should have just used the proper code. But there's Psybeam, and Pikachu does go down, bringing the score to 2-2. I haven't seen the score at all. Not that it really matters. Here we go. Last Pokemon up for the red team is Poliwrath. Very much weak to Psybeam. Poliwrath's special defense being not all that great. It's okay. It's certainly nothing to sneeze at, but this is gonna hurt. See? I told you. It hurt. Oh, here's Dynamic Punch. Can it hit? No. I do believe Alakazam will win this, taking no damage. And that is it. And blue team wins with a very distant 3-2. Very terrible order for the red team, I must say. Most unfortunate. Oh well. That's how it goes. I mean, blue team was heavily favored in the betting odds, so it's not like it was entirely unexpected. Let's see if anyone bet any considerable amount of money. Or was it actually paying attention to who was where? Yeah, that was a good battle. You are listening to Pixley Commentates Twitch, the unofficial live commentary companion stream to Twitch Plays Pokemon, in which I give live commentary for the Stadium 2 matches. You can talk to me in the TPP Twitch chat just by typing @Pixley, that's Pixley. You can find archives of previous PCT sessions at youtube.com/atstudios. I don't have the two most recent. The week before last was because I never bothered to edit it because I've been busy. Because generally I'll take my Tuesdays to do that, and I haven't. And then last week OBS was messing up, and that's what I used to record for the footage, despite the fact that I'm also streaming on Mixlr. Alrighty, and the next battle begins. Oh, Epic Knight's betting everything on this. Rest in peace, sweet prince. Rest in peace. Alrighty, so, next picking phase has begun. Oh, another thing about communicating with me, as always, let me know if my AC is too loud or something else is wrong with my mic. If I'm too quiet, when I'm kind of leaning back. So, first pick for the blue team is Dewgong. I always like Dewgong. It's not particularly powerful, but I like its design. And Waterfall and Aurora Beam are both pretty decent moves. And then Sleep Talk and Rest, of course, being quite annoying for others. And if that is the last two Pokemon are who they think they are, it is indeed Vileplume in the second spot for the blue team, which means finally is Wigglytuff for the blue team. Definitely a well-rounded team. You got water, grass, and fire going on here. Of course, just in the form of Fire Punch, and I don't know Wigglytuff's special attack off the top of my head, although I can easily find out. Oh, we'll have to wait until red team picks. First pick for the red team is Igglybuff. Can't see that doing much work here, unfortunately. Second pick for the red team is Larvitar, which, that's pretty cool. I like Larvitar. Not as much as Tyranitar, because Tyranitar is a monster, but Larvitar is kind of cute. And third pick for the red team is Sneasel. And there we go. Wigglytuff's special attack is actually its highest stat, apart from HP, of course. Huh. So, yeah, Fire Punch could actually do work here. So, Vileplume and Dewgong definitely have the advantage over Larvitar. Wigglytuff has the advantage over Sneasel, though Sneasel also has the advantage over Vileplume. And then Igglybuff probably is going to do a whole lot of work. I mean, special attack is pretty good, but it has to pull off Sing and Dream Eater. Sorry about that, I was typing to someone in the chat. Alrighty, so, yeah, Sing and Dream Eater, definitely not something that TPP is known for pulling off, especially Red Team. Of course, with Red Team being stereotypically less organized than the Blue Team. So we'll just have to see. We will have to see. Yeah, it should be noted that all three of the red team have pretty poor special defense, which means blue team could probably steamroll them. Oh, and first up is Vileplume versus Igglybuff, which means, yeah, actually, the advantage against Sneasel is not going to really comp because Wigglytuff's in last, and it'll have to work through Vileplume and Dewgong, which are well, not completely required, obviously, but somewhat required for taking on Larvitar. Vileplume opens up with Petal Dance, doing considerable damage to Igglybuff. Not quite a lot, but here's the thing. Does it connect? Yes! Now, will Red Team pivot in time to select Dream Eater? That is a no. That is most certainly a no. Meanwhile, Vileplume just, you know, snoozing there. And there's a pointless Sing. And now red team is pivoted. There we go. Oh, and Sweet Kiss to seal the deal. So, asleep and confused. Not that Vileplume wouldn't become confused eventually with its use of Petal Dance. Although, obviously, it's not using it right now because it's asleep. Now, here comes the Dream Eater. How much is this going to do? Oh, it crits! Wow. Now, there was some damage. Red team pivoted back on his Sing. Actually, tactically, because Vileplume has woken up. But it's still confused and hurts itself, bringing Vileplume down to 38 HP. Igglybuff using Sing to put Vileplume back in its place, as it were. And Vileplume does indeed fall back asleep. No pivoting here, which means Dream Eater won't happen. Although, Ariados did just switch to Headbutt, but not quick enough. Sing goes off. Which means if Vileplume can wake up this turn, which it does, but it's still confused. Does it hit itself? It does! And going down to 4 HP. And there is the useless Dream Eater. Ooh, that is just unfortunate for the red team. Which means if Vileplume manages to snap out of confusion, which doesn't. Oh, it does manage to get off Acid, though. Not a whole lot of damage, though. Not a whole lot. And here's the Headbutt, which will finally bring Vileplume down. Red team takes a surprising lead, 1-0. But next up for the blue team is Dewgong, with which Sing and Dream Eater won't quite work on because Dewgong has Sleep Talk. And Rest. Rest is definitely going to prove to be quite annoying for the red team. Here comes the Waterfall. Dewgong's special attack being not all that great, so Igglybuff is not going to take a whole lot of damage. But a decent amount. Here comes the Sing. Oh, but it missed. Here comes another Waterfall, which should end it, I think. And there it is. Igglybuff goes down, Dewgong taking no damage. Game tied at 1-1. Next up for the red team, though, is Sneasel, which resists the entirety of Dewgong's moveset. So that should prove to be interesting. Screeches and Slashes should definitely whittle down this beautiful, beautiful creature. Here's the Screech. That will lower Dewgong's defense, sharply, in fact, which means it'll become more vulnerable to the Slash. Oh, I forgot that Ice doesn't resist water. Alrighty, so it actually took a decent amount of damage. How about that? Here's a Slash. Dewgong staying above half health despite the defense lowering, because Dewgong's physical defense is 216. Sneasel must have... Actually, no, Sneasel has good attack. Huh. Weird. Anyway, here comes another Slash, which will bring Dewgong in range for one more hit to bring it down. Will Waterfall seal the deal? I don't think so. No, Sneasel hangs on with 17 health, which means this next Slash hit will bring Dewgong down. And Sneasel will barely survive with 17 HP. Does Dewgong outspeed Larvitar? Yes, Dewgong has 194 and Larvitar has 165. I mean, I don't expect Ariados to actually be listening necessarily, but that is the case. So, now, what can Wigglytuff do? It's... well, for now, it's going to probably Fire Punch. There's the Screech, sharply bringing down Wigglytuff's defense, which actually isn't all that great to begin with. Wigglytuff certainly relying on its high HP rather than any proper defensive stats. Sneasel used Disable, interestingly. Seems like it would just be easier if Wigglytuff just hit Sneasel. Oh, and the Sing even misses. This is just, wow. This is quite interesting. Ice Punch. Not a freeze, though. Another Sing. I don't know what the blue team's doing. Well, at least the Sing actually goes off this time. Now, will blue team finally hit Sneasel? There we go. Finally. Which means Wigglytuff has taken almost 100 HP of damage before Larvitar comes out. This will be most irritating for the blue team. Oh, I'm an idiot. I was looking at Dewgong's speed earlier. Wigglytuff is 154. Why'd no one correct me? Come on. You guys are supposed to type at me in the Twitch chat. And Larvitar ends it with Earthquake. There we go. #02107, if you're listening and wording it like that, that's mean. That's not nice. Alrighty. Well, there we go. Red team gets the payout. 4.99 to 1. Definitely quite the payoff here. That was good. That was a good battle. You know, underdog coming from behind, taking things on. Of course, a lack of coordination on the blue team's part certainly didn't help. It was really the order that really screwed over the blue team. Wigglytuff first would have been far more advantageous to the cause. Anyway, you are currently listening to Pixley Commentates Twitch, the live commentary companion stream to Twitch Plays Pokemon Arena, in which I give live commentary, imagine that, for the battles that take place therein. The intended listening experience is for you to mute the Twitch Plays Pokemon streams, that way you can hear my voice in all its excellence, and also probably my air conditioner. As always, you can leave feedback, comments, goofy interactions in the Twitch Plays Pokemon chat. Just, you know, type @Pixley so I see it. Or just Pixley. I think it highlights it in black even if you just say Pixley. You can find archives of previous PCT sessions at youtube.com/ATstudios. Don't ask what it's about. I've had that YouTube handle for many, many years. But last week's isn't on there, nor is the week before, because last week I couldn't get OBS to work, and the week before... what happened the week before? Oh, the week before I just haven't bothered to edit it yet. Eventually I'll get around to it. Probably not today, though. I've got stuff I need to do today. First pick for the blue team is Clefable. There we go, off my rambling. Clefable, very interesting Pokemon, I would say. Of course, that's really just because Metronome's awesome. Second pick for the blue team is Rapidash. Rapidash's moveset not being very fantastic. I mean, Stomp's a good move, certainly, but Fire Spin is ass. Oh, and third pick for the blue team is Suicune. Suicune having not a great moveset. Not great at all. Better than Entei's. Well, kind of. I mean, Entei does have Fire Blast and Suicune only has Double Beam. I don't know. We'll see. First pick for the red team, though, is Eevee. Eevee not having an advantage over any of the blue team. But conversely, none of the blue team has an advantage over Eevee. Second pick for the red team is Marill. Marill having an advantage over Rapidash. Twice, in fact. Although I would imagine the red team would want to go for Surf over Rollout. And final pick for the red team is Voltorb, which has an advantage over Suicune, especially given its Thunder. And if worst comes to worst, it can self-destruct. Also has Rain Dance, which makes Thunder 100% accurate. This is actually a pretty good matchup. We've got a bunch of strong Pokemon against a bunch of weaker Pokemon, but the weaker Pokemon are the ones with the type advantages, because there is no type advantage going from blue to red. Alrighty, let's enter this stuff into my sophisticated Python script. Definitely super scientific here, and not something I threw together in the evening. There we go. Alrighty. So, this is another instance of special defense mattering here. Well, in the case of Marill, Voltorb, and then Suicune and Rapidash. Blue team has pretty good special defense. Suicune's special defense is actually 268, which is crazy. No, not crazy. It's not like Alakazam's 324 special attack, but still, 268 is definitely good. On the opposite side, of course, being weaker Pokemon, special defense for the red team peaks at 206. So that is certainly something to be aware of. Seems like the betting's going towards the red team. But this should be an interesting match. Metronome, of course, always being a wild card. No Oko moves, though. Somewhat disappointing. So we'll see. First up is Clefable versus Marill, which means Marill has to get through Clefable and Suicune to take its advantage against Rapidash, which means the Rapidash should be safe from the Surf and roll out. However, Clefable versus Marill could be quite interesting. We'll just have to see. Clefable using Metronome into Nightmare. Ow. Ow. Oh, and Marill responds with a Tactical Swagger, which could act... I mean, once that confusion goes away, that could prove to be quite disadvantageous for the red team. Oh, Clefable getting off its own confusion move. Oh, but it misses. Marill now choosing to use Rollout in classic M4 style. We'll see how that goes. Didn't do a whole lot of damage to Clefable. Alrighty, Clefable is confused. Clefable uses Metronome and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball being physical, which means Marill takes a decent amount of damage. Not great. Marill's physical defense actually not all that high anyway. So can Marill hold out long enough for a rollout to Snowball? That is the question. Metronome into Rage. I don't see Rage all that often. It's kind of a terrible move. Especially in the case of Marill doing pretty bad damage to Clefable. But the Rage builds. Oh! Metronome into Fissure! Does it hit? No. Aw. Oh well. I mean, I got to commentate a Horn Drill hit a couple weeks ago, so I've gotten that out of my system. Oh, and here's Sunny Day. That's interesting, although that will prove disadvantageous for Suicune once that comes out. And Rollout will finally take out Clefable. Suicune is faster than Marill, though, which means if you get off a good hit, Marill may go down. I don't know. I mean, Marill's going to resist Bubble Beam, and Gust is a terrible move. Especially with Suicune's attack only being 188, which is higher than most stats on the red team, but again, it's Gust. And speaking of Gust, here it is. Wow, that did even less damage than I thought it would. That is just depressing. And here comes the 5th stage rollout. This should do... Oh. No. Oh, 5th stage was on Clefable. Never mind. Oh, and a sunny day bubble beam. Sunny day bubble beam. Definitely. Oh. Almost knocked over my laptop there. Here comes second stage rollout. Again, not doing a whole lot. People in chat saying that we really should be using the defense curl before rollout. This is Twitch Plays Pokemon we're talking about. We can't coordinate anything effectively. Come on, man. The fun is the non-optimal ways in which things go wrong. I mean, a team of Marill, Voltorb, and Eevee is winning against a team of Clefable, Suicune, and Rapidash. That is some TPP for you. Here comes another gust. Marill brought down to 47 health. It should survive 2 more gusts. Here comes third stage rollout, I think. Fourth stage. Oh, and it crits! Suicune will certainly go down with the next rollout. Assuming it hits. I mean, rollout, of course, not having 100% accuracy. Here's the gust that'll bring down Marill down to 15 health. And final stage rollout. Now, unfortunately for the red team, Rapidash is likely gonna get off that stump before Marill can do anything to it, because Rapidash is rapid, as it were. So, yeah, unless Stomp can miss. I don't know the accuracy on Stomp off the top of my head. Here's Stomp. And it hits. Marill finally goes down. Sweep denied. But still, that was definitely some excellent work on the part of the red team and its use of rollout. I mean, I can't say they did a whole lot else. And now here comes Voltorb. Red team seem to be going for Kapow, which, I mean, I would. It's definitely the way to go, I think. So there we go. Voltorb goes down. Rapidash down to 58 health. Which means if Rapidash can flinch hacks Eevee, blue team could win. Now that would be amusing. Although Eevee really just has to hit it once. Unless it uses a stupid move like Iron Tail and misses. Wow. That's annoying. Another Stomp. Pardon me. And here's the flinch hacks. Can blue team pull this out of the gutter? Another Stomp. One more should do it. And another flinch. Another flinch. Well, oh, but Rapidash uses a 16% toxic. Oh no. Blue team almost recovered. And here's the takedown. And Rapidash goes down. Oh, blue team, you were so close. You were so close. You almost came back from that. Wow. Holy fuck nuts. That was a battle. I am satisfied with that. Alrighty. As always, you are listening to Pixley Commentates Twitch, the unofficial companion stream in which I give live commentary for Twitch Plus Pokemon Arena matches. Currently doing Stadium 2. Although, I think once PBR goes live, I'm going to do a special broadcast, like right at the beginning. We'll see. Depends on when streamer does it. I mean, I have obligations in real life, obviously, but I'm going to try it. Obviously, that's not going to be till, like, frickin' November. Speaking of November, You guys hear that Smash 4 Wii U is coming out like less than a week after? Is it less than a week? So like crazy close to ORAS in the States. I mean, that's the only date I care about, being a dumb American like I am. But yeah, that's gonna be annoying for my wallet. I mean, granted, my birthday is early November, so shouldn't be a problem. The UI now goes away, and we go to our next battle. This might be the last battle before leaderboard, which would be most disappointing, considering we're not even 40 minutes in. That late, that narrow leaderboard dodge really screwed things up. Oh, first pick for the blue team is Lord Helix himself. Second pick for the blue team is Pineco, which really the only good thing Pineco's for is Kapow. And third pick for the blue team, you do not fuckle with him, it's Shuckle. And wait, do I know the entirety of the red team lineup already? I normally am bad with the silhouette, so generally don't call it. Yep, Ariados. And then next up will almost certainly be Bayleef. Yup. And is that a Remoraid? I don't know. Again, bad at the silhouettes. No, it's Magnemite! Oh, that's way better than Remoraid. So, you got 2 bug Pokemon on the blue team and 1 bug Pokemon on the red team. Bayleef and Magnemite both have an advantage over Lord Helix, which is most disappointing. Of course, Lord Helix has Ancient Power. That's going to prove effective against Ariados. And then, you know, the Rainbow Boost always helps. However, not really a whole lot red team does against bug types. Razor Leaf certainly isn't going to do a lot. Body Slam will, of course. Actually, Razor Leaf will do neutral damage to Shuckle, but Shuckle has Sludge Bomb and has, you know, defenses out the ass. So, Bayleef probably doesn't want to fuck. Although Bayleef does have Synthesis, which has very frequently been used to annoy the other team. We'll have to see. Let's get things all typed in. And oh, right. There we go. Alrighty. Stat-wise. Oh, Bayleef has the same attack and special attack. Neato. What's it? Huh. Apparently the formatting's messed up all of a sudden. That's weird. I need to fix that. I accidentally did a full complete upgrade to the Windows 10 technical preview, which luckily it works just fine. I haven't had any problems with it. But it's definitely made some certain things different, like command line font's different, and like the tabbing's weird. So like the columns aren't quite lined up the way they're supposed to be in my program. First up is Pineco versus Magnemite. I mean, if I were Pineco, I would just go for Kapow. Really, not much else you can do against Magnemite, I don't think. Yeah, I guess, I mean, Double Edge isn't going to do that much damage. Oh, there we go. Voting has shifted onto Kapow. Here's Thunder, which does... Wow! A fuck ton of damage. I'm actually surprised. And Magnemite takes the explosion damage, brought down to 7 HP. Wow, it actually lived that. Wow. Nice clutch, Magnemite. Nice clutch. Next up for the blue team is, of course, Shuckle. Shuckle is not faster than Magnemite, which means Magnemite should be able to get off. Oh. 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 Oh, wait. What am I talking about? Oh! Sandstorm! No! No, blue team, no! No, that was a bad idea. That was... no. Bad blue team. Shit. Well, this will be the quickest freaking battle. Magnemite is faster than Omanyte. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. Man, if I were blue team, I'd be fucking pissed right now. Holy fuck nuts. Wow. I don't believe this. I'm speechless. Man, it's a good thing I didn't bet there. Holy crap. Okay, so, now we know. Pineco Explosion does not one-shot Magnemite. And that Sandstorm really, really hurt the blue team. Wow. That was some fucking clutch there. I was not expecting that. Whoa! Oh wait, wrong mic anyway. Well, on the bright side, that does mean we get one more battle. So... that's good. One more battle. I mean... yeah. You're listening to the Pixley Commentates Twitch. Wow. I was not expecting that. I was expecting a long, drawn-out battle. Yeah, alrighty. Picking begins for the next match. And this will most certainly be the final match for this session of Pixley Commentates Twitch. As when the leaderboard goes on, I go off. That's a terrible catchphrase. I'm not going to use that. First pick for the blue team will be Crobat. I always liked Crobat. It's really fast. Not great typing, of course, but I don't know. I always thought it was a neat Pokemon. Second pick for the blue team is Dratini. That should prove interesting. And third pick for the blue team is Jolteon with its Zap Cannon. So now, how will the red team picking respond? Well, Venomoth's obviously on there. Oh! Cubone. Well, that's certainly going to throw a wrench in things regarding electric moves. Second pick for the red team, I'm pretty sure, is Snubbull. And then third pick is obviously Venomoth. Yep, Snubbull and Venomoth. Cool. Ah, damn. Did it again. There we go. Alrighty. So... well, special defense on the part of the red team is not all that great, which means Dratini's Outrage will definitely do some work. Physical defense, on the other hand, Cubone tops the entire game at 268, which, that's actually amazing. I didn't know Cubone had such high defense. Otherwise, stats across the board are pretty mediocre for the red team. Other than Venomoth's 238 special attack and speed, that'll certainly help it. And its Psychic certainly does give it advantage over Crobat, although Crobat's Fly gives it an advantage over Venomoth's Bug typing, and Crobat is definitely faster than Venomoth. Actually, Crobat and Jolteon have the same speed at 306. Fun fact. And they're both faster than the entirety of the red team. And then Dratini is faster than Cubone and Snubbull. So, seems like blue has the advantage here. Interestingly enough. I mean, things could always go tits up. Oh! Cubone has Icy Wind. That may prove to be difference-making. Especially in regards to the speed. Although, I mean, you gotta bring Jolteon and Crobat's speed down pretty hard. But, I mean, Dratini's gonna take super effective damage from it. And its speed isn't all that great. And I think... yeah, I'm pretty sure one Icy Wind would bring the Dratini down below Cubone and Snubbull. We'll just have to see. I mean, Venomoth is a Dragon Slayer, so Dratini may have to worry about that. Let's see. First matchup is Crobat versus Venomoth. So, probably no Dragon Slaying today. Actually, no, it could happen. I mean, if Venomoth manages to get off a good Psychic. I mean, Crobat's physical attack is 228, whereas Venomoth's special attack is 238, which means it could be close. Crobat's special defense is decent. Venomoth's physical defense, on the other hand, is not so great. So, that should prove disadvantageous for the Dragon Slayer. And 83. Yep, that was quite a bit of damage. Alrighty, and Crobat takes less than half health. Oh, yep, no Dragon Slaying today. Unless Fly misses for several more turns. Dendian, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that, brings up a good point in chat. I always thought Crobat's teeth in Stadium 2 looked weird. Like, they're all gross and flat. I don't know. Look way better on, like, the sprites for Crobat. Although, I haven't seen Crobat's mod on X and Y. I wonder if they fixed that. Crobat getting some dental work here. Anyway, blue team takes the lead. 1-2-0. But next up for the red team is Snubbull. Snubbull's defense not being all that great, which means Crobat should be able to have its way with it. Here comes the strength. That's not going to do anything. Snubbull's attack is 243, though, so that strength is certainly going to hurt. We'll see. There's the Fly. Snubbull taking not enough damage. This will be a 4-turn kill. Crobat down to 65 health, which means one more strength will do it. Blue team seems to be wanting to try Bite now. Can't imagine why, other than to try and get the flinch. Which it doesn't work. So Crobat shall go down. Next up for the blue team is Dratini. Trying to make up for red team now tying the game. And Dratini is really going to need to take out Snubbull. Otherwise, Cubone will likely have its way with Jolteon. I'm not saying that Cubone can't have its way with Dratini either, because again, Icy Wind. I'm not saying that Icy Wind does a lot of damage though, but, you know, that's how it is. Okay. Here's a Swagger from Snubbull. That should prove most irritating for the blue team. Let's see if Dratini can fight through the hacks. Nope. Bonk. Here's another strength. Is our team going to turn this around? Dratini hangs on with 32 health. Dratini uses Safeguard for some reason. I think you threw this one away, blue team. I think you blew it. Yeah. Not. Yeah. Alrighty. And finally, for the blue team is Jolteon. Jolteon Zap Cannon not exactly being an advantage with its low hit ratio. See? I said so. Here comes the strength. Jolteon brought down to just above half health. Like 2 HP above half health. Here comes Pin Missile, which was 3%. And the Pin Missile completely misses. Wow. So, yeah, RNG not being kind to the blue team. And Jolteon goes down. Red team turning it around, winning 3-1. Yeah. Wow. I would imagine lots of elements of the blue team are pissed right now. Lots, okay, they're like maybe 20 people. But, yeah. Not exactly a stellar showing by the ordinarily coordinated blue team. Yeah, I mean, the erroneous headbutt and the erroneous safeguard really screwed things over on the part of the blue team. I feel like they had like overall the advantage though, which is disappointing. Oh well. That's how TPP is. Alrighty, well then. Since next up is the leaderboard, that is all from me. You have been listening to Pixley Commentates Twitch. I air every Tuesday at 2 PM UTC. That's 9 AM Central Daylight Time for those of you in the States. You can find archives of these broadcasts at youtube.com/ATstudios. What else? Thank you for listening, Prince David. Yeah. I don't know. What else is there to say? I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll see everyone next time. Take care. And...